Jackie Robinson has been called the most exciting player of his time. Baseball fans remember with particular pleasure his ability to drive pitchers wild by just sort of standing on third base and threatening to steal home faster than you could say his name, probably. He's the man who broke the color line in baseball in 1947. Seems like a long time ago. He's a member of baseball's Hall of Fame, of course, and he's left baseball and become a highly combative man in a number of areas and fields. And speaks his mind. Will you welcome, please, Mr. Jackie Robinson. Is it possible that it's been a quarter of a century since you first played in the major leagues? I can't believe. Yeah, I guess I can believe it. It's on the books, isn't it?
It's every bit of that. It seems a lot longer.
Yeah. Did you think things would come as far as they have? Or did you ever think it might not work?
Well, there were times, certainly, when we thought it wouldn't work, but with the numbers of people that helped, we certainly thought that things would go as they have now, and even a lot further in terms of the front office and the managerial role and that kind of thing. But certainly baseball has grown considerably, and we're quite proud of the role that we played in it.
It's incredible now to think of a sport that big that was all non-black.
Yes.
I mean, so many black stars in baseball now.
Well, you can't even count them today. It's amazing to me. I keep reading about certain ball players, and one day I look on television, and he's black. There's no longer a mention of Joe Blow, Negro ball player, this kind of thing, which is as it should be. I think they should be judged solely on their abilities out there, and the race shouldn't have anything to do with it.
But they always used to, of course, they mentioned it for several years. It was like, and in this corner, and a credit to his race on radio. They always used to say that, and that way you knew.
Right.
No white man was ever a credit to his race on radio. It was always, always black. There must have been tough times. Well, obviously there must have been tough times, but I often wonder how you got what temper you have to have under control at the time. So weren't things yelled at you?
Oh, there were a number of things, but I worked for a great guy. I don't think anybody could have done the job had it not been for Mr. Rickey. He was constantly advising and guiding, and I had so much confidence in him. I would have jumped off the bridge if he told me to do it. That's how much I believed in him. And he was a man that was sincere and dedicated and willing to lend that helping hand that's so needed today in terms of the problems that we face in everyday life. Not enough people are willing to do as Mr. Rickey did.
What advice did he give you, though, about when you get out there and somebody's going to yell? Well, what was yelled at you? What kind of things?
Well, you name them in terms of race, and they were yelled. Everything, it was quite vicious. I think the Philadelphia Phillies, with Ben Chapman, was perhaps the most vicious of any of the people in terms of name-calling.
The team members?
Some members of the team, but there is a fellow by the name of Lee Hanley on that ball club that came down to first base when I was there and apologized for the Phillies. He just says, I just want you to know all of us don't feel that way, but it's been led by the manager, and many of the guys are doing it simply because of instructions, I would have to imagine. But it did give me a good feeling to know that in spite of what was coming out of the Philly dugout, one guy would come down and say he's awfully sorry. And actually what they did was to sort of solidify the Brooklyn Ball Club, because Mr. Rickey told me one of the things he said early was that when your ball club starts to take up for you in certain situations, our battle is most of the way won. And I think that Philly incident started the Dodgers to kind of mold as a unit.
Was that the worst, Philly?
Yes, yeah. Philly was the worst. Ben Chapman was quite vicious. He wasn't only vicious as far as black people are concerned. I think he was anti-everything. So
where is he today?
God only knows.
But the team members, was this while you were when you came onto the field that they would yell things, or was it while the game was going on? I mean, could some of it have been just strategy to help?
Well, they thought. I'm sure that a lot of it was thought to be strategy, but it wasn't going to upset me. There was really too much to be done at that particular time in terms of breaking the baseball barrier to allow name-calling to bother me. I keep remembering what my mother told me when I was a kid, although I've always been a guy that turned back. She said something about sticks and stones will break your bones, you know, and so not to be concerned about it. Well, I didn't at the time, and fortunate for the advice that I got from Mr. Rickey and the encouragement and the guidance I got from my wife at home, we were able to withstand most of the kinds of situations that came up, we were prepared because of the numbers of people on our side.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, I spend a lot of time trying to get you guys nice videos, so please subscribe to this page, and please subscribe to my second page. The link to my second page is in the description section. Thank you.